Hey guys, this is Yoko Mizuhara, being distracted by a kitten. Anyway, I decided to do a question and answer video a while ago. I took your questions and I saved them, but I'm sorry I haven't gotten around to them till now. I was busy with finals and moving, and this little guy mostly. I got him a few weeks ago. Anyway, I'm going to answer your questions now. So anyway, first off, Joe asked what got you into costuming, and I've always loved costuming and been a geek, but I would just dress up randomly and for no reason go out like with all my friends, make them dress up too. I've always been into group cosplay. So what got me into costuming specifically, though, I went to my first con, AWA 2003, saw cosplay, and decided to make my own. So my first costume was AWA 2004. And that was Kinza from Pilot Candidate for Goddess. What was your favorite convention and what made it so great? Favorite, that's really hard, but I'd say SketchCon Birmingham 2012. Probably we just do really silly shenanigans, like all the time we do Box of Doom, which is a box inside a box inside a box. And then there's Magic and Doom and free stuff. But my favorite thing was I kind of jokingly mentioned to the con chair, I was like, hey, we should have a bouncy house. What con has a bouncy house? And he was like, our con has a bouncy house. And so yeah, we had a bouncy house and carnival games and blitzball, and I painted little Easter eggs like Pokeballs and hid them all over, and just a lot of really silly things, and it was a lot of fun. And I like being on staff because I get to kind of see everyone enjoying the event and making friends, and know that if I hadn't been a part of it, that may never have happened. So putting on a great show for everyone else really makes it different and fun. So that's my favorite. If money, time, skill was no object, what was your dream costume? It'd probably be Dizzy from Guilty Gear, but that's kind of been my dream one forever. It's really intimidating to me. I love Guilty Gear though. Any good con stories? I don't know if any of those are PG, sadly. Maybe we'll do a PG-13 or something, convention things. I'm sure I have some con stories, but most of them are just like my friends and I being silly and just stuff. Here's one. When I was Clauderella from Futurama, so I'm blind and I have two friends cosplaying with me, so whenever we stop and post for pictures, they let me know, or towards the beginning they were letting me know, like, okay guys, when we're done, just tap me and I'll flip it up and we can go. And I was like, so guys, we've been posting for a long time, we've been getting a lot of photos. Guys, they left me. So yeah, friends. Okay, so next one. Jeff asked, what's your method of laying out patterns and cutting cloth with limited space? This here is one of two tables that I use. I use card tables as my cutting tables. So I actually have a pretty good amount of space, but when I have less like sewing parties and stuff, I just make sure to be very careful with my patterns. I do mock-ups if I'm using a really expensive fabric, and just have a very exact, this is the pattern, this is how it's going to be placed, and then I play pattern Tetris for a while. Hope that helps. Michael Sprayberry, this guy, asked, why are you a terrible person? I don't know, maybe because I hang out with terrible people like Michael Sprayberry. Nah, he's one of my good friends. He showed me Godzilla movies and Final Wars, and is why I cosplayed Gigan, so he's a cool dude. He's going to be my Potemkin at Dragon Con, or else I'm going to be really mad at him. Janice asks, how do I feel about cosplay idols and cosplayers in the community becoming popular to the point that they started to treat like celebrities? Do I like that, and how do I think famous cosplayers should treat their fans? Famous, she used quotations. I think it depends on why they're cosplay famous to me a lot. Like if they're really popular, like one of my idols is Rufflebutt, and it's because she does a lot of tutorials, she does really in-depth, she sells patterns, she sells she sells patches. So she does a lot to help the community and has for a long time. And that's what I looked up to, and I think that's really helpful for people to look up to, is people that, one, you can learn a lot from because they're very honest and open about what they do, and then also people to look up to them for their craftsmanship, not so much to look up to people just because they're pretty, or because, like things that aren't as, you can't really learn from as much. So if you look up to people because you can learn from them, then I think that's fantastic, and I think they should get all that recognition. Other people, you know, if they're enjoying it, that's fine, but they're not the kind of people that I look up to. So that's what I think about that. And how do I think famous cosplayers should treat their fans? I mean, just like people, just be nice. I mean, it's not rare. I mean, it's very, very rare for me that anyone knows me that I don't like personally know. But I've had a couple, and I mean, I fangirl out. I get really excited when people come up and like know who I am. Mostly it's because like I talk a lot on the internet. It's not even like, oh, your page and your cosplay is so good. It's more like, oh, so I see you talking a lot on all these forums. I'm like, yeah, I love to help. I hope I'm not being dumb on the internet. Oh well. So yeah. Vaughn asked, how did you become part of the cosplay fandom? So that kind of goes back to how I started. But essentially, like, once I saw cosplay for the first time at AWA 2003, that was back when cosplay was small and not nearly as good. We didn't have all these amazing photographers, but I just knew, I mean, I've always loved playing dress up, and I love all these animes and everything. So I went home, my mom taught me to sew, and I've just been a fan ever since. I would read New Type, and I would find about new animes, and I'd find, you know, new conventions. And I mean, my mom and I were like a hawk trying to find different cons. Back when there was like 3 a year in the Southeast, and we went to all of them. We went to a lot of cons. And then we also asked, how did you fall in love with cosplaying? I've always loved dressing up, and so of course I love that. And my mom taught me how to sew, and although there were definitely some times that it got stressful when we were working the week before the con, we nearly killed each other, it was really fun, and I do love crafting and making everything in the creative challenge of it. And just being a character that I love to be. Like, the best thing to me about cosplaying is it's a walking billboard of I love this, come talk to me if you love this, and we can be friends and we can be fans together. And I've made a lot of friends through cosplay. So that's why I fell in love with cosplay more than anything, is making friends through it. So Todd asked, I had to actually look this one up because I thought it was pretty funny. It's an Elton John thing. Are you still standing, better than you ever did, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid? As you can see, I'm sitting. And I'm not a little kid. So, but yeah, I'm doing pretty good. And yeah, but that was fun. I looked up the song. So that's always fun. My best friend came in because I was asking for questions on my profile, and he saved me by asking a lot of questions. So here we go. Here's some from my best friend. How do you choose a character to cosplay? Anytime I watch a show, if I really love a character, I'll start saving references. Other than that, a lot of times people will suggest things, like friends want to do groups, and then I'll look into it, and if I like the character, I'll cosplay them. My favorite characters are always like the really broken ones or the crazy ones. So if there's ever a character like that, let me know. I love them. What's the first step you take in making cosplay? Saving a million reference pictures. I have a whole hard drive full of reference pictures. After that, it's kind of deciding what fabrics I want to use for the different parts. And buying wigs. I buy wigs before I start my costume, so I have a lot of random wigs too, sadly. Or maybe that's for the best. I love wigs. Is closet cosplay okay in your opinion? Yes, I love closet cosplay. That's how I started. I actually made most of my first costume, but I do a lot of closet cosplays. It helps kind of break up things and let you have more costumes. Plus, they're generally more comfortable. Even this costume, the skirt on it, I pulled out of my closet and just modified. If it's accurate, why reinvent the wheel? Why make a button-up blouse when you can buy one for $2? Let's see. How and where do you find your wigs? I have them from everywhere. I have them from Arta, Epic, eBay. This one's from Taobao. Taobao's a bit of a hassle, so I don't order from them much. Arta, their wigs are generally too big for me, so I'm not a huge fan of them. Epic is one of my favorites. I absolutely love them for long wigs, and they're always who I go to for anything like longer than my waist. I just bought 2 like 5-foot long wigs, and I would never buy them from anyone but Epic. And also eBay, I just keep up with people who have good reviews and just search a lot on there for stuff. And I'll still go to Amphigory for any like punky, spiky wigs. I love the punky wig. So, how much can you alter a costume to make it more impressive before it's too far from its original concept? I'm actually really bad at this. I don't do a whole lot of embellishing. I really need to work on that and up my game. I'm altering Eno from Guilty Gear, but that's mostly because I don't really have the body to cosplay her, so I'm adding a bra made out of the same fabric as the black trim. So that one, but I think as long as you have the basic, like the color scheme and the structure, adding details as long as they're character appropriate, like when I do make Noriko's courtesan outfit, I really want to go crazy with embroidery and beading because it's appropriate for the outfit, that's the court robe, so yeah, it makes sense. Don't, take a school uniform and be like, I'm going to bedazzle everything. Actually, yes, do that because it'd be fabulous and just crazy. Gina's one of my really good friends, and if anyone else asks this, and applying to anyone else, the answer is no. But if anyone else asks this, I would just stare at them really like, and step far, far away. But because she's a good friend and she's my lady, may I touch your booty? Only Gina. She's Tylee to my Azula, Stocking to my Panty, only her. Also, what makes you like styling wigs? I used to be really good at it. I'm not as much anymore, but I do like styling spiky wigs. It's fun to make them go Super Saiyan and everything. And that's it, actually. So, yeah, I hope I didn't rant too much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And please ask me any other questions. When I have too much free time this summer, I will answer them. So, thanks. Bye.